thing that I hear a lot is, my style is the best style, this style is better than that style. Really? I assure you that every modality for dealing with violence has been created for a purpose and worked within whatever context it was designed in, and thus why it was propagated. Some were designed purely for sport. They work within sport violence. Some were designed for footmen versus horseback riders. It worked within that context. Some were created just, because peasants needed to be able to defend themselves, and they didn't have time to learn really advanced forms, so they learned very basic movements, and that worked within that context. It's not about this style versus that style. It's not about my style is better than your style. It's about finding something that works with you, something that flows with how you work. Worse than that, I find that there are people who are saying, well, I've done a lot of reading and a lot of research, and I only want to learn this style, or maybe this style and this style together, but all I want to learn is that. That's kind of a problem too, because now you're trying to find something that works for you. Maybe you found it and all you want to do is that. But you realize that every style, whether it's sport, battlefield, assault, whatever, every style is ingrained with a certain set of rules and principles. And unfortunately, when you stick only with that, you tend to only face other people that are training with that. And when somebody does something that is considered unorthodox via your style, you get thrown for a loop and you go, oh shit, what just happened? Well, it's because you were training unrealistically. You were not training, if you're a boxer and then all of a sudden you have to face a wrestler, have you trained against a wrestler? Have you trained against wrestling modalities? Maybe with the advent of MMA you have, but 10 years ago, 20 years ago, would you have? Probably not, unless you had a particularly good coach. I study Wing Chun currently. I've studied several styles. And as much as I love Wing Chun, it's not the be-all and end-all. It's missing a few things that we can certainly integrate into it. I'm not a dogmatist. I don't believe in sticking to just one thing only. But my grandmaster in Wing Chun, Samuel Kwok, when he goes around the world teaching these seminars and training with his masters and his brothers, he's also looking for people of other styles to test his skills against. Even if you are sticking with one style, that's fine, but at least train it against every possible angle, every possible attack, every possible scenario, because if you don't, you are shortchanging yourself seriously. I think boxing is fantastic for footwork and punching power, but it's missing a lot. I think Taekwondo is great for, once again, footwork, for timing, for long distance fighting, but it's missing a hell of a lot. Savate is great, a lot like Taekwondo, in that it's long range. It looks nothing like Taekwondo, but Savate is a fantastic form. Do you study the side section of Savate, the defense stances of the rope? It's completely different beats than the sports Savate. What about Jiu-Jitsu? Do you study, sorry, my dog just bumped the tripod. Do you study Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, old-style Japanese Jiu-Jitsu? Look for the flaws, look for the areas. What does it not address? Do your grappling styles not address punching? If they don't, they're meant for sport. Do your striking styles not address grappling? Probably meant for kickboxing competition. Do your karate styles that incorporate a little bit of all that, do they teach you rules like no punching to the face? Let's get real. There are sport forms of karate that do indeed not punch to the face, at least in competition. Now, we can sit there and debate the efficacy of cracking somebody in the head versus the health of your hand. It's a whole different story. But that's not the point. The point is that you have to address the whole body and all scenarios, all attacks, all angles. If you like the strategies of an art, that's fine. I won't argue with you there. But make sure that you either stick within its context, or if you're looking for an all-purpose art, that you expand the context to include all possibilities. That's all I got for you tonight. I gotta go get a workout in, so good journey.